Hello everyone. So I welcome you all to this new lecture of the lecture series. And so today we are going to start a new topic in list called Doubly linked list. So in some of the previous videos we looked at introduction to linked list and we looked at singly linked list, and we also talked about some basic operations that we do in linked list like insertion and delete, and how to declare a singly linked list. Alright. Now, today we are going to start a new topic called doubly linked list. Okay. So first, let me tell you what is a doubly linked list. Alright. So suppose if these are datas of a singly linked list, what would it be like? 10 would be pointing to 20, 20 would be pointing to 30, and 30 would be pointing towards null. Am I right? This would be the case. Okay, so what happens in doubly linked list is that 20 points towards 30 as well as point towards 10 also. 30 points towards null as well as point towards 20 also. Alright, and 10 also points toward null. Alright. So in a single linked list, we have a single relation between the elements which always go like this, right? But in a doubly linked list, we have two-way relation. One is like in this direction, second is in like this direction. Yes. So this is what we call as a doubly linked list. Alright. So let's talk about the implementation, like how to implement this code. Okay. Alright. Let's try and implement our doubly linked list. So let's add our header file here. Let's make our linked list structure. Let's name it as node. It will have a data, right? It will have a node called next. Right. This same declaration was there in singly linked list, right? So what is the new data? That 20 would also point towards 10. So for that we are going to have one more node called previous. Is that right? Alright. Now let's make constructor for this structure. We'll have next as null. We'll have previous also null. We'll have data as x. Right? Okay. That's good. Now let's write our main function here. Let's have node head. Let's have the new node 10. Right? Now let's have another node called temp one, just pointing towards node 20. Then we have another node temp 2, new node 30. Alright. Now what we're going to say that head next is going to point towards temp 1. Alright. And temp 1 next is going to point towards temp 2. Temp 1 previous is going to point towards head. Alright. And temp 2 previous is going to point towards temp 1. Temp 1. Alright. Yeah, so that was the implementation of a basic doubly linked list. So the linked list looks like this. Here we have head, here we have temp1, and here we have temp2. Data in our head is what? 10. Data in our temp1 is what? 20. And data in our temp3 is what? Temp2 is what? 30. So I said, according to constructor, heads previous is going to point toward what? Null. And then we change heads next to pointing towards temp1. We also change temps1 next to pointing towards temp2. Since we didn't make any change in temps2 next, it is going to point towards null. Right? We also said temps1 previous to change to head, and temps2 previous change towards temp1. Right? So this whole thing is same as this which you wanted to implement, right? So this is basically how you implement a doubly linked list. All right. Now let's talk about the advantages which we can use here. Give me a minute. Yeah. All right. So like if we compare a doubly linked list with a single linked list, what are the advantages of a doubly linked list? Like why do we use it? First of all, it can be traversed in both the directions. Okay, so that means can be traversed in both the directions, right? What is the second step? In a single linked list, you can always insert or delete an element. Like if we have a given node, we can insert or delete element after the node, right? But here we can insert or delete before a given node. We can do both. Yes. Let's make it in. Alright. And what else? Yeah, that would be like the broad advantages. Right? Okay, that's cool. Now let's talk about disadvantages here. Alright. Can the most common disadvantage that must be coming in your mind is that it makes the code complex, right? So code becomes complex because see, on a personal level, I'm saying when you work with linked lists, code tends to get complex because you have to work with pointers. Okay, in a single linked list also, but in a doubly linked list, you have to take care of another pointer called previous. And while working in a linked list, it's already complex, and introducing a new pointer makes it more complex. So the biggest advantage of WLS is it makes the code complex. Now the second point would be that your pointer, that is prev, it requires extra space. So more memory allocation to be provided. So that is also a disadvantage here. Alright. So okay, let's do this. Cool. So yeah, so I guess I gave you a broad idea of what is a doubly linked list, how to implement it, and we also talked about advantages and disadvantages of a doubly linked list. So in the upcoming videos, we are going to look at the basic operations of a doubly linked list as we saw in singly linked list. That would be insert at the beginning, at the end, and delete at the beginning, at the end. Alright. So I guess that was it for this video. See you next time. Thank you.